Welcome to the Marketing Growth Podcast. This podcast episode is sponsored by Ahrefs. I'm your host, Shane Barker, and I have with me again today Bo Pokstefl, the Chief Executive Officer of Kontentino. On the last episode, we discussed what it takes for a startup in the tech space to succeed. He also touched upon Kontentino's evolution during the last 4 years. Let's pick up the conversation right where we left off. I'm excited to learn more about what goes on behind the scenes at Kontentino. Before we begin, I just wanted to remind my listeners that if you're looking to take your SEO strategy to the next level, you can check out Ahrefs. It's the one tool you'll need in your toolkit for effective keyword research, backlink analysis, and competitor research. Currently, they have a special offer. It's a 7-day trial only for $7. You can sign up at ahrefs.com. Their YouTube channel also has detailed SEO tutorials for anyone looking to learn about the tool. Be sure to check it out after listening to the podcast episode. All right, then, it's time to get this episode started. So, what I want to talk about today is because obviously with your expertise and the things that you've done, I want to talk about the social media management, right? And we talk about that process of brands and agencies working together and really you guys being the answer to the social media workflow. So I wanted to kind of talk about, like, what is your opinion? Like, obviously you guys have built this software and you guys have almost 4,500 clients. When we talk about workflows and social media and when it comes to brands and agencies, like, is there some insight? Can you give us some details on what you guys have found and the reason why you guys have built the software to fulfill that need?
Well, when you think about it, the usual size, what we observed of the agency or team working on content is at least 5 people, which is quite a lot when you think about it. And you need to know exactly who is doing what. The transparency in that process, in that workflow, is such a crucial thing, because this is what was happening without using the collaboration software. Or for example, let's not talk about Kontentino. Let's talk about Asana or Trello. Right? Those are collaboration tools. So the key there is to really understand who is doing what, when it's going to be delivered, and it's just the transparency of the process and understanding what are the statuses of those posts. Like, specifically when it comes to social media planning, you want to know what posts are being scheduled for today, if they are being approved or not, if they are still being worked on. You need to know what tasks are waiting for you or for the graphic designer, if you should push it or not. So having this transparency in the workflow, it's a stress relieval. What a word! It's a stress relieval. Crazy
stress
word.
Relief. Yeah. It's like stress relief. Yeah. It takes it out. I mean, I think that's and I agree with you. I think the problem with it is people have to know when you do what you do, when does it stop to you and when does it go to the next person, and having that process. Because when we found this historically we send an email and send the email to 2 people and say, hey, what do you guys think? Well, this person's like, am I supposed to say something? Or are they supposed to say something? So it becomes this situation of, hey, it goes to copy, now it goes to graphic designer, then it goes to, whatever, then the person that's going to schedule it, like understanding. And I think with Asana and Trello and these types of softwares is that where it kind of goes to the next person and then it goes to the next person. And that helps with that workflow so that at what point is it off your table, off your plate, and it goes to the next person. So I agree. I think that the workflows is important, and understand what everybody's roles are in that, what their tasks are, is going to be important. And I know, we talk about, you talk about 5 people being involved with the content process and it being obviously very time intensive and expensive. I do want to talk about Kontentino, and I want to talk about like how you guys help streamline that process, because that really is the goal of what you guys have created, right? It's the idea of, hey, there's this process and how we made it easy for these brands and agencies to be able to work together. Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to get into details, but what we do, we are doing this transparency of this workflow. So you have, for example, the ideal workflow looks like this. You get a brief from the client, then someone is responsible to kind of brainstorm and create some ideas. Once the ideas are made, then you're gonna create some drafts for the posts or for the ads. So you're going to go to Kontentino, you are creating drafts, and then once you have this draft ready, you're going to send it, you're going to assign tasks to graphic designer, for example, to create a visual. The graphic designer done the task, and you get a notification that it's ready. So it's a combination of the notifications and the transparency that you see everything in one place. So you see the live preview of the post, right? And you see the whole workflow right next to it, the whole conversation right next to it. So you see if the graphic designer is still working on it or it's being done. You see the status, if it's waiting for approval, or it's being approved, or it's scheduled, and it's right next to the live post preview, which gives you the exact idea how it's going to look before it goes live to public. So this is the key element of Kontentino, that you never miss anything, and you have this transparency of the communication.
And I think that helps for people to be able to work together better too, right? Because then you see everything, you see that whole process, and you see where people are at. I guess my other question too is can you do multiple clients? Can you guys have multiple clients on the software? Because I imagine that, that there's going to be some companies that have 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 clients. How do you guys work with multiple clients?
Yes, this is a key. I mean, you have your we call it profile groups, and basically you can cluster the social media pages of different clients into one. So you can organize your clients very well. Also, what is really important that you assign people to a certain pages or certain clients. So the agency, the teams in the agency see only those clients which are supposed to. So they are not messing up anyone else's content plans, etc. And same with the client side. From the client side, the clients see only their content, and what clients from the brand side, what they do, they can only comment, review, and approve the content. They cannot create it, because it was creating a lot of misunderstandings when the clients were way too enthusiastic to create content and making those changes. It would create a lot of mess. So they have also some set of rules, what they can do within the product, what they cannot. They have some. What we created for clients is, for example, that they can create inspirations. So those are not posts, but those are inspirations and ideas what they can basically show to the agency, and then the agency is taking inspirations, making posts from them. So yeah, and when it comes to multiple clients, managing multiple clients, we have also one module which is tailored for international brands. We built it together with IKEA. We first started to solving their problem, but again, we figured out that this problem is a problem of many international brands, and it's basically when the brand have multiple agencies on board. So it's a little bit different approach. So for example, IKEA Central Europe, Central and Eastern Europe, they have, I believe, 7 or 8 agencies working on their content, and you need to have an overview what is going on, and you need to have a control of the localization of the content. So you make sure that these countries are adopting this global content properly. And Kontentino is a big help in this process.
I mean, just imagine that. So if we say an average agency, let's say it's 5 people working with a client, and you have 8 agencies, that's 40 people. Like if you're working with 40 people, I can pretty much tell you that your content might not ever get out. It might not ever happen with that, right? I mean, there's can you imagine getting 40 people to agree on anything? I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm just telling you, we call it the more, there's plenty of chefs in the kitchen, right? Everybody's telling you what to do, but nobody's doing anything. And I'm not saying that these people weren't doing anything, but the point is I mean, if you have 5 people, it's hard to agree on something. If you have 40 people, that obviously makes it extremely difficult. And I love the fact that you guys were able to work with IKEA and be able to go in there and figure out, hey, listen, how do we make this so we can get out content, right? So we can get that approval process going and get people to be happy about it and get that machine going. Because it's not that you don't have enough people on the team. It's not that you don't have intelligent people. It's getting that approval and getting that and actually out there and having that transparency of being able to see that. So, I mean, it sounds like what other agencies? I mean, obviously IKEA is a huge story. I mean, that's awesome. Do you guys have any other good client success stories of any other big companies you've worked with? I know you guys work with a lot of international brands.
We have plenty of them. I mean, to VML to Asahi. I mean, we have several success studies and success cases. I can name two. The one is Social Media Help. They are based in Netherlands. They're a Dutch agency, and when they started with Kontentino, they had 50 clients on board, and right now they have over 200 clients. And you would think that they would need when they were having 50 clients, and I think that in their agency there was around 15, 20 people, that you would think if you quadruple the number of clients, you would need to quadruple the number of team members in the agency. But the thing is that they didn't. Thanks to Kontentino, basically they just work more effectively, and I think that they only double the team. So this is kind of interesting thing that you might think that okay, but social media managers have no job because you're automatizing everything, but not really. You are basically just making the work more effective, so you can focus on creativity and the important task, and not wasting time with bullshit random operational tasks.
You're not losing jobs. You're helping with communication so that things can get done. I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's not more people on your team that you need to cluster things up. It's like, how do we make this process seamless and make it easy? So, I mean, I look at it like, hey, from an agency standpoint, because I have an agency, guess what? Not that I don't, I mean, I want to be able to figure out how I can bring on more clients, not have to bring on as many employees so that I have a good profit margin. And also so the communication is better with the brands that we're working with, so that we have that clear communication, because clear communication and getting stuff out on time, guess what? Equals renewals with clients, equals happy clients. So that really should be the goal. Thanks, Bo. It's been a very insightful conversation. I'm sure that brands and agencies are taking notes on how they can change their processes and develop a seamless workflow. There's a lot more that I want to discuss with you, but we'll save that for the next episode. For now, I just wanted to remind my listeners that you can also reach out to my team if you need help with content creation, social media marketing, PR services, SEO, or influencer marketing. We can work together to take your business to the next level. Thanks for tuning in to the Marketing Growth Podcast. We'll be back soon with another episode.